Good evening, Internet. My name is Michael and I'm here to review some stuff for you. Now, as you all know, it's now February, which means it's Black History Month. And so in honor of Black History Month, we're going to spend the whole month reviewing blaxploitation films from the 70s. And we're going to start off with Kill Factor, which is part of this DVD set. Now, if you've never seen this movie, let me read the back so you can get a brief synopsis. Jim Kelly, the Black Karate Dynamite from Enter the Dragon, is back as a super agent out to stop a criminal mastermind from launching a freeze bomb. So yeah, that's really all you really need to know about the plot of this movie. That's actually it in a nutshell. This movie's great. It has the black guy from Enter the Dragon, and the villain is the guy who played Oddjob from Goldfinger, the best Bond, side guy ever. And he's not the side villain; he's the main villain. He's an evil mafia guy, basically. The plot of this movie. Let me give you the rundown. Basically, the Oddjob guy. He's an evil mafia guy, and he finances the scientist to build him a freeze bomb. It's a bomb that freezes everybody within, they never say how big the radius is, but freezes everybody. And the scientist doesn't want to, he was just trying to develop like a weather control device to help like drought and stuff. But his science got perverted, so he ends up destroying all the evidence and giving this microdot, which he surgically implants in his assistant's forehead, and he has her run off, and then he kills himself so that the mafia guy can't get the info and sell it, because he's trying to basically sell it to foreign countries, and more on that later. So anyway, the lady escapes, and then we're introduced to the main character, Detective John Ash. He's the main guy, and he's a police detective, and his captain sends him to Nevada to go investigate, or actually to go arrest they call him the Pig. That's the Oddjob guy. He sends him there to go arrest him. And also, the Pig has a very interesting sidekick. It's this guy, the big scary black guy, and he's an evil Haitian martial artist, and he kills people in a very specific manner. And there's a funny scene where the police captain is showing like some pictures of a dead guy to the main character, and the main character's trying to explain why he's Haitian, and the captain doesn't get it, and that's kind of funny. So anyway, main character goes to Reno, and along the way, before that though, he's attacked in his home by thugs, who he takes out easily. Then he goes to Reno, and he meets up with his old friend, and him and his friend are trying to track down the Pig. And they do this by first they go to a whorehouse that the Pig runs, and no one's there except a bunch of thugs, and they take out the thugs, and they question one of the thugs, and the thug says that he's at a lake, so they go to a lake, and when they're at the lake, then they're attacked by a bunch of more thugs, and they fight those guys off, and then they find out, oh, he's in LA, so they go back to LA. And the whole time, the Pig's trying to find the assistant lady who has the microdot with all the information, because he wants to sell the bomb, but he doesn't have the bomb, because all the tech was destroyed. So anyway, there's this whole cat and mouse thing where he's trying to get the lady's trying to escape, and also he keeps sending people to kill the main character because he's like such a badass detective, and the detective keeps wiping out everyone that sends after him. Anyway, it ends up eventually they have a big showdown. The bad guy gets the microdot, but the police show up, and you also find out that the police captain was in on it the whole time. Him and his partner, he's not really his partner, it's his friend, they beat up some guys, and then it gets to the big climax of the movie. And I'll explain that a little bit too. Also, another thing is that there's basically this foreign agent guy who's trying to buy the freeze bomb from the Pig. And the foreign agent guy is really funny, and there's a lot of humor in this movie. Rather unintentional. Some of it's intentional, some of it's not so intentional, but he doesn't act for it. He's an okay actor, but him and Oddjob, they're playing off each other's really bad acting. But it's also really funny that they're doing all their meetings at the Pig's basically a whorehouse, and you just see the guy, this Ford agent, just sitting in the lobby of the whorehouse, surrounded by all the hookers, and it's just rather funny. And he ends up getting arrested by the cops. So yeah, just desserts, I guess. So anyway, the fight scenes in this movie are very kung fu-ish. Most of them they're decent, and a lot of them are rather unintentionally hilarious. So yeah, there's also a couple of car chases, a boat chase, and some other stuff that are okay in this movie. The action side of the movie, up until the very end, it's okay, and then at the end it gets so ridiculous, it's awesome. Another thing is that the gunfights. They actually do have several gunfights in this movie. However, no one can hit anything in this movie. Every single gunfight in this movie ends with just them shooting at each other, but nobody ever gets hit. Ever. I was actually rather surprised that at the finale they start shooting stuff and you actually see like little explosions in the dirts and the rocks. So you can actually tell they're hitting something, just not the people they're trying to hit. And also in this movie, if you point a gun at someone and you're like 2 feet away and you're threatening them, they're going to disarm you. Whether you're the good guy or the bad guy. That's just a given. So anyway, the finale. The finale involves basically Oddjob and the Haitian henchman. They escape. The main guy's chasing them. They get in a cable car and they're going up on a cable car. Or not a cable car, a gondola. And then the main character jumps into a police helicopter, and the police helicopter is like flying all up and around the cable car, and at the same time they're having a gun battle with revolvers, and of course they don't hit anything. But it actually is kind of impressive looking, just really, really silly. But anyway, they get off the gondola, the main character chases them, and then he has this big showdown with the evil henchman. And also the evil henchman killed his woman, so you know it's personal. Anyway, they have a bit of a fight, and then he takes out the guy so funnily. They're at a cliff, and he basically pimp slaps the guy, and then the dude falls off the cliff. Well, actually, you see him like jump off the cliff, but you know, you're supposed to. He got punched off the cliff by being slapped, so that was great. So anyway, then he chases Oddjob, and he catches up to him, and then they have a fight, which is it's not real super looking, but at least Oddjob holds his own, and the main character can't really hurt him, just like in the James Bond movie. But anyway, Oddjob gets away. They're running, and the main guy's chasing after him. They're over like in a desert, and then a plane shows up. It's like a single-engine prop plane, which is from the main bad guy, and it starts flying by, and it starts shooting at him with a machine gun a couple of times, and of course it doesn't hit him. Then they start dropping sticks of dynamite. So the guy's like chasing Oddjob, or the pig, while explosions are going on all over the place. He's even like right next to one of the explosions, and he gets flown forward a little bit, but it doesn't faze him. But then Oddjob gets in the plane and flies away. And they're like, how's he going to stop him? Then he picks up his pistol. Now it's on the ground. And then he aims, and then he starts shooting at the plane, and he actually hits something. He hits the plane, you see like a little bullet hole appear in the plane, and then the plane just explodes. And one of the just most ridiculous but awesome endings I've seen in a movie in a while. So anyway, I highly recommend this movie. It's just all around good, has 2 great actors, the Oddjob guy and the dude from, what's his name? Jim Kelly, who's also been in several other blaxploitation films. I probably won't get to those, but anyway, give this movie a 5. If you can find it, I highly recommend you watch it. And anyway, stay tuned next time when we'll review something else.